We all have that small voice in our head. You should do more standing. You should do more exercise. But how badass really is it for you to be sitting down too much?
Dr. Vishnu Parvathareddy, hopefully I got that right, known as Dr. Reddy, and Amy Gross. Did I get that close from Stanford to here?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, good. Oh. So, and we're talking about reducing harm caused by prolonged sitting. To both of you, thanks so much for being here. So let's start with this. How do you define prolonged sitting? Is that like 3 hours, 2 hours? Where are we at?
Anytime you sit for too long is prolonged, of course. Try to move every half an hour to 1 hour is what we would recommend.
I feel like that's already in me, where I get too anxious to be sitting for too long. So it's those people who are doing the Netflix marathons or something like that, that they kind of need to worry about what's going to happen to them.
It's not simply watching TV or your screen time with your phones and things like that, but sitting behind a desk at work or sitting behind a wheel, that would contribute to sitting for long periods too. Such a harmless thing, but it can affect a lot of your health issues.
Like what specifically? So what is sitting for prolonged periods of time actually do to your health?
So it actually increases your blood pressure, your blood sugars, increases your risk for obesity, abdominal fat, high cholesterol. A lot of those common things we hear about can all be put at risk for the longer you sit.
Oh, my poor abs. I'm just going to tell my boss I can't come to work today because my abs need a break.
Or you should get one of those standing desk things.
That's true. And so is that kind of what you guys suggest for people, is if they do have a job where they have to sit down, maybe request something like that?
Simply standing wouldn't do the job as well, but trying to move around a lot, that would help. So making sure you have it in your daily routine, so you're not sitting for too long or standing for too long, trying to get some small bursts of activity throughout the day. So having something planned would really help. You don't really fail to plan, but you can work on it.
So what if I stand up, walk to the break room, and grab a donut? Am I sort of killing it?
Well, the donut part may kind of be killing it. But the science is saying even 2 minutes an hour of casual walking can have benefits. So it's not that it has to be an astronomical amount of time. Simply getting up and going to the copy machine or going to talk to somebody versus sending a little email if they're right down the hall. If you have a meeting on the phone, stand if you can. Try to walk. If you have group meetings at work, do it while you're walking instead of sitting in a conference room. There's a lot of ways just to get those few extra steps in throughout the day that can really add up for sure.
So if you have had a sitting behind a desk 9-to-5 job for 15 years, 20 years, is there any way to kind of reverse the damage that might have been done already?
You could try sitting differently rather than slouched behind the desk. Try to sit up straight. That would help. You can simply fidget around, move your legs and hands. And if you do, like Amy was saying, if you can take a break and move around, continue to do that. What happens when you're sitting for too long is the damage is kind of at your cellular level. Your cellular, the DNA strands and the telomeres, the little caps around them, they tend to shrink when you're sitting, and that causes a lot of damage to your cellular growth. And it also inhibits an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase so that it doesn't burn out the fats and sugars like you should. So you can reverse it obviously by working out more and moving around a lot. There is no definite guidelines for how long you should sit or how long you should move, but that should come around. Like Amy said, maybe definitely if you're sitting for an hour or two, trying to get up and take a brisk walk for 5 minutes or so should negate those side effects.
Does it help at all? Like you see those big rubber balls that you have at the gym, you just do abs on and stuff. A lot of guys don't know how to use those at their desk. Does that help at all to help?
That's actually something she just got at work, so.
What are those called again?
The exercise balls?
Exercise balls, exactly. They're pretty cheap. You can get them for $10. And when you're sitting, you're obviously using your abs and trying to maintain your core and strengthen your core. Whereas if you're sitting in a chair, you tend to slouch or move back. So,
We have a couple in the newsroom. I might have to try it one day and see if I go home and be like, oh, my abs, my abs. We'll have more on this after a quick break.